Hello student, in this video I am going to solve the most expected question in NEET 2020 from the chapter alcohols, phenols and ethers. Let me solve the question one by one. 3 moles of ethanol reacts with 1 mole of phosphorus tribromide to form 3 moles of bromoethane and 1 mole of X. Okay, which of the following is the X? Okay, let me write you the particular the reactions here. 3 moles of the ethyl alcohol. Okay, so see here 3 moles of ethyl alcohol, that is the CH3 CH2OH. So whenever it reacts with the phosphorus, that is the tribromide, so which gives you the 3 moles of the which is the bromoethane. Okay, this is the bromoethane, the 3 moles of the bromoethane. So here the byproduct what you are going to get is the H3, that is the PO3. Okay, so we got the which is the phosphorus acid. Okay, hence in this case the option is which one, that is the D. Okay, next one. Oxymercuration, demercuration reacts with the 1-methyl cyclohexene gives. Okay, now see this one. So let me take the particular reactions here. The 1-methyl, that is the cyclohexene. See this one. This is the cyclohexene, and this is the cyclohexene, and this is the 1-methyl, that is the cyclo, that is the hexene. Okay, just go this one. Oxymercuration and the demercurations here. Okay, so for the conditions for the oxymercuration is what we are going to take the which is the mercuric acetate. This is the mercuric acetate. This is a condenser formula. And next thing is followed by the reduction by using the which is the sodium borohydrate. Okay. And now in this case we are going to get, that means here you are going to get the respective alcohol. That means what the alcohol you are going to get, the product is similar to the which is the Markovnikov, that is the additions of the water. Okay. So now we got the which in the particular the alcohol here. Okay. But this particular the cycloalkane, they do not show the which is the geometrical, that is the isomer. Okay. Hence the name of this compound is which one, the 1-methyl cyclohexanol. Okay, in this case the option is which one, that is the C. Okay, next one. The most unlikely representation of the resonance structure of the para, that is the nitrophenoxide. Okay, just identify this one here, especially in the first structures here. Okay, so we can identify the total, that will be the 8 electrons here. Okay, just identify this one. Here it is having 4 electrons, and again we are having which is the 2 electrons. Here also the 2 electrons. The totally we can identify the 4, that is the 8 electrons. Okay. Just identify the this one, especially this one here. This nitrogen which is containing which is here it is a total will be the 4. Especially in the third structures we can identify the 10 electrons around the which one, that is the nitrogen here. Okay. So normally we know that the since okay the nitrogen. So that this since the nitrogen particular the element here. So is an element of the nitrogen is an element of the second period. That is the second period. It belongs to the second period here. Okay, so it cannot contain. Okay, yes, it cannot contain. It cannot contain. That is the 10 electrons. Okay, it cannot contain the which is the 10 electrons. Okay, so this is the complete. That is the particular the concept. It cannot contain the 10 electron in its, that is the valence shell. Okay, so because of that it cannot be which is the particular the resonating structure here. Okay, but in the rest of the case we can identify the 8 electrons here also, because this the particular the lone pair of electron which is present, especially this one which is involved in the bond formation. Okay, so just go this one here, this will becomes again it forms which is the 8 electrons, but it is not possible in the case of in the C, because it cannot accommodate the which in the 10 electron in its valence shell. Hence in the option is which one, that is the C. Okay, next one. So which of the following diols could cleave into 2 fragments with the HiO4, that is the per iodic acid here. Okay, let me take the particulars the structure. That is the 1,3 hexane diol. Okay, so let me take this is the first position. This is the OH, and the next thing is the third positions we are having which is the OH. Okay, next thing is the hexane. Okay, so this 4, 5, and this is the 6. This is for the first one. For the second one we are having a 2,4, that is the hexane diol. This is the first carbon, and this is the second we are having a OH, and again we are having which is the fourth carbon we are having which is the OH. Okay, this is the fifth, and this is the sixth carbon. Okay, and the 1,6, that is the hexane diol. Okay, the first and the last positions we are having the OH here. Okay, this is the CH2. So CH2, here it is the fourth carbon, fifth. In the last carbon again we are having which is the OH. See the last one here. So 3, 4. Okay, this is the first, second. In the third carbon we are having which is the OH. The next thing is the fourth carbon. Okay, and the next thing is the fifth and the sixth. Okay, just identify this. Especially by doing the fragments with the periodic acid, especially this one. Okay, there should be a which is one of the conditions for this one is there should be a which is the adjacent. Okay, that is the adjacent, that is the particular carbon they have to contain the which is the OH. But in the first step it is not a which in the adjacent carbon here. Okay, just go this one here. Here it is a which in the 1, 3. If it is 1, 2, they undergoes a which is the cleavage. Okay, here also the it is not possible. So here also it is not possible. But here you just go to the this one. Here it is possible. That means it will be cleaves here. Okay, one more thing you have to remember here. Both the OH should be present on the same side. Okay, if you identify the if you're talking about the which one, this is the opposite side. Okay, so if the OH will be the front, if it is the OH will be the back side. So here we can't identify the cleavage. That means both the OH should be present on the same plane, then only we can identify the cleavage. Okay, so it is only the which in the 1, 2 is possible, but not the 1, 3. Okay, that means adjacent, that is the carbon, they have to contain the OH. Here we can identify the cleavage. Okay, hence in this case the option is a which one, that is the D. Okay, next one. So what is the major product for the following reactions? Okay, let me take this one here. Okay, so they are given which in the para-bromo, that is the toluene. Okay, this is the para-bromotoluene. Okay, so whenever the para-bromotoluene reacts with the first condition, okay, let me take the MBS. Okay, they are given the benzoyl chloride. Okay, so this is the NBS, they undergoes which is the allylic substitution. So this is very important one. This is allylic, the substitution you are going to get. This is allylic substitutions. Okay, so now in the first product what you are going to get, that is the allylic substitutions. Here we are going to have, that is the CH2, that is the Br. Okay, this is the NBS, is nothing but N-bromo succinimide. Okay, we got this product here. And the next thing is what? Okay, so let me take this one. This will be reacts with the sodium ethoxide, that is CH3CH2ON, sodium ethoxide, in the presence of the which is the ethyl alcohol. Okay, but you just identify, we got the which is the alkoxide, and this is the alkyl halide. That means they undergoes the Williamson's ether synthesis to form the this compound. Okay, this is the Br, and here we are going to have the CH2, and this particular is the alkoxide. Okay, so here we are going to get this product here. So this is CH2 CH3. Okay, hence in this case the option is a which one, that is the B. The option is B. Next one. So the order of reactivity of the following alcohols towards the concentrated, that is the HCl. Okay, so whenever the alcohol reacts with the concentrated HCl, the cleavage taking place at the so in this case the cleavage taking place at the which is the COH, and it forms the carbocation. Okay, let me write the carbocation for the first one here. Okay, that means after the cleavage you are going to get the carbocation. This is the fluorine, and this is what you are having, the CH2. Here I am going to indicate the CH. This carbon carries the positive charge. I am going to indicate the CH3 like this. Okay, this is the first one. And for the second one, again we are engaging with the fluorine. Next thing is the CH2, and see the next one is the CH2. Okay, and afterwards we are engaging with the C. Okay, this will be carries this is the particularly the CH. This will be carries the plus, and again what you are having, that is the CH. This is the carbocation for the second one. And for the next one, okay, I'm just going to indicate the carbocation here. This is the CH, this is the plus. Okay, so this is the third one, and here is the CH3. And for the fourth one, just identify the pH is nothing but the which is the phenyl. So here we are going to have the CH2, that is the plus. Now you have to identify the stability of the carbocation. So we know that the benzyl carbocation, okay, is the most stable than the which is the allylic, which is more stable than the tertiary, secondary, and the primary. Just identify. This is the which is the secondary. This is also the secondary, and this is also the secondary. But this is the benzyl. Hence we come to know that the more reactive is which one, that is the fourth one. Okay, now we can identify this is the more, because the more stable one, because it is a benzyl carbocation. So come to this one. All are the which is the secondary carbocation. But see this one here. This is the electron withdrawing group. Okay. for any carbocation, if there is a presence of the electron withdrawing, suppose if for any carbocation, if there is a presence of electron withdrawing group, the stability, okay, the presence of the electron withdrawing group, the stability of carbocation will be decreases. Okay, so now you just identify here we don't have any there is the electron withdrawing group, hence this the third will be the which is the more reactive. Okay, next comes just identify here also we are having electron withdrawing group, here also see the distance here, the distance is far towards the which is particularly the carbocation is very near, hence the next comes the which is the second one, and the least reactive is the which is the first one. It is mainly depending upon the stability of the carbocation. If there is a presence of the electron withdrawing group, stability decreases. If there is a presence of the electron donating group, the stability of the carbocation goes on increases. Okay, hence in this case the option is which one? That is the C. The option is C. Next one. Consider the following reaction. Okay, now see this one, the phenol. Okay, so they are given the phenol reacts with the zinc dust. So whenever the phenol reacts with the zinc dust, it gives you the benzene. So this is the X compound here, and this upon treated with the methyl chloride in the presence of the anhydrous aluminum chloride, means it undergoes the Fidelka alkylations to form the which one? That is the toluene. Okay, and remember the next one here, it is the oxidation with the alkaline potassium permanganate. Okay, remember one thing, if any alkyl benzene, okay, if it is any alkyl, that means one more thing concept that remember, if this particular the alkyl, that is the particular the alkyl group, if it contains at least one hydrogen, it always undergoes the oxidations to form the carboxylic acid. But they have to contain at least the one hydrogen. But here we have 3 hydrogen. But the conditions for the oxidations with the alkaline potassium permanganate means that particular the alkyl group they have to contain at least one hydrogen, which upon oxidations to give the respective carboxylic acid. Okay, hence in this case the options what you got, I mean the benzoic acid, the option is B. Next one. Acetic anhydride reacts with the diethyl ether in the presence of the anhydrous aluminum chloride to give. Okay, just see this one, acetic anhydride, okay, reacts with the diethyl ether. Okay, I'm going to take the which is the diethyl ether. So this is the the diethyl ether. This is the CH2, this is the CH3. Okay, then it reacts with the acetic anhydride. Okay, I'm going to write the acetic anhydride structures in this form. Okay, this is the acetic, that is the anhydride. This is the C double bond O, and here it is which is the CH3. Now the cleavage, it may be from this carbon to this oxygen, or maybe this carbon to this oxygen. Okay, I'm going to show it like this. This will be the cleavage here. So here I can write this is the positive, sorry, this is the negative part. Okay, and this will be the positive part. So similarly I can cleavage here, because it is the symmetrical, that is the ether. Okay, this becomes which is the negative part, this will be the positive part. And now see this one here, this is where angle which is the positive part here. Okay, I'm going to write this one here. So here we got, that is the CH3, the C double bond O. Okay, next thing is what? Okay, so here this is the negative part we are having, and we are going to have the respective, that is the esters. Even here also you are going to get the same thing here. That means here we are going to the 2 moles of the esters we are going to get. Okay, so this is nothing but the which one, the ethyl acetate. Okay, so hence in this case the option is which one? That is the C. Okay, next one. The product Y is, okay, so this one they are given the orthoxylene here. Okay, see this one. So orthoxylene is this one. We are having which in the 2, that is the methyl group. Okay, this is orthomethyl toluene, is also called as a orthoxylene. So whenever it reacts with the nitric acid, we know that the nitric acid is the powerful oxidizing agent which oxidizes the toluene into the which one, that is the particular is the carboxylic acid. But see the next one here, this particular the carboxylic acid, because it is a very adjacent to this one, that means it eliminates the water molecules to form the which one, the respective, that is the anhydride. So we got the which one, this is the phthalic acid here, and here it forms the which is the phthalic anhydride. Okay, this is the phthalic anhydride. So this phthalic anhydride is treated with the phenol. Okay, let me take the this one here. Okay, whenever it reacts with the phenol, okay, so I'm going to indicate here. So this is the phenol. Whenever it reacts with the phenol, okay, in the presence of the which is the concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, so here we are going to get the particular the structure. Okay, let me write the structures here. Okay, so this is the benzene ring, and here we are having a C. Okay, and the next thing is the benzene. and this is the what the one of the what the OH, and the one more thing is the same thing here also. So here we are going to get the which one, that is the what the phenol, sorry, the phthalic, the phenolphthalein, and the rest will be the what the remains the what the C. Okay, C double bond O. This is an indicator, that is the what the we got the which is the what the phenolphthalein. We got the which is the phenolphthalein. Okay, hence in this case the option is a which one, that is the what the C. Okay, next one. Which one of the following compounds will be most readily attacked by an electrophile? Okay, let me take the which is the this one here, the chlorobenzene. That means you have to identify the which one, which will be the what the more active, that is the what the benzene team. Okay, the one thing we are having which is the chlorobenzene, and next thing we are having which is the benzene, and next thing is which one we are having which is what the phenol, and the next one is the which one, that is what the toluene. Okay. So now you just identify this one. So we know that the what the chlorine also they shows you what the plus M effect, but the more minus I effects than the which in the plus M effects. Just identify this one. This will be the what the OH, and this is the what the CH. Here we can identify the what the hyper, that is the what the conjugations here. Here we can identify the what the plus M. So here they shows you what the plus M as well as the what the minus I effect. That is what the minus I is more dominant over the which in the what the plus M. Now in this case the more activating the OH group is the what the activates the what the benzene ring, so hence it readily attacks to an which on the electrophile. Okay, hence in this case the option is a which one, that is the what the C. Okay, so next one, the chemical name of salol is. Okay, so now see here, so what exactly the what the salol. Okay, so when you take the what the salicylic acid, so when you take the what the salicylic acid, okay, let me take the what the this is the what the salicylic acid. So whenever the salicylic acid reacts with the what the phenol, okay, reacts with the what the phenol, okay, see this one, and here what the product what you are going to get is, where we are going to get the which in the what the phenyl salicylate. This is the what the phenyl, that is the what the salicylate. Okay, I'm going to write it in the condensed formula, that is the C6H5. So this is the what the phenyl salicylate. The phenyl salicylate is nothing but the which one, that is the what the salol. Okay, the chemical name of the salol will be the what the phenyl salicylate. This is the method to prepare the which one, the particular the what the reactions. Okay. Okay, next one. The option in this case what the C. Okay, next one. When ethylene glycol is heated with the acidified potassium permanganate, the main organic compound obtained is, okay, the glycol. The ethylene glycol is this one, the CH2OH, and again we are engaged in the CH2OH. This is the ethylene glycol. So whenever it is oxidized with the which in the acidified potassium permanganate, we know that it is a act as a which in the oxidizing agent, which upon oxidations to give the which one, this compound. Okay, so this is nothing but the which one, that is what the oxalic acid. Okay, we got the which one, the oxalic acid, and the option is a which one, that is what the A. Next one. The glycerol on heating with the what the oxalic acid at 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the most important one, is mainly depending upon the temperature here. So see this one here. So whenever the what the glycerol, okay, this is the what the structure of the what the glycerol, the structure of the what the glycerol here. Okay, so see this one here. Whenever it reacts with the which is what the oxalic acid. Okay, I'm going to write the what the structure of the oxalic acid in this form. Okay, this is what the C double bond O. Okay, again I'm going to indicate the what the COOH. Now see this one here. Here the what the cleavage will be like this, and the byproduct what you are going to get, that is the what the water. And here we got the which is the particle the what the intermediate. Just go this one here. This is the what the C. Okay, is O double bond C double bond O, COOH. And here it is the what the CH, this is the what the OH, and here it is the what the CH2OH. And now here it, that means whenever it have the particular intermediate, okay, the carbon dioxide, that means at the what the high temperature it eliminates the carbon dioxide, and here we are going to get the which is what the glycerol mono, that is what the format here. Okay, that means here the what the this will be comes out. Okay, and now what is the remaining we are going to have, that is what the CH2, that is what the O, C double bond OH. Okay, and next thing is what the CH, that is what the OH, and here it is what the CH2OH. So this upon reacts with the what the water, because in the what the first case the byproduct will be the what the water, hence here we are going to get the which one, the what the, again we are going to get the what the glycerol. Okay, and the next thing is the byproduct is which one, that is what the formic acid. The byproduct is which one, the formic acid. Okay, now the what does it gives, it gives you the formic acid. Okay, so next one. Which of the following gives you the positive iodoform test? Okay, remember the one of the concept, especially for the iodoform test here. If the particular the compound containing a which in the keto group containing about the CH3, okay, if the CO group containing about the CH3, it always answers for the which one, that is about the iodoform. Let me take the first one here. They're given the which is about the methyl alcohol. Iodoform test means what? You have to take the which is about the base. You can take the sodium hydroxide, the potassium hydroxide, and you have to take the iodine. So we know that iodine also acts as an oxidizing agent. On oxidations here we are going to get the which is about the formaldehyde. Just go this one. We are having a keto group or the CO group, but it does not have the word the particularly the CH3, and it does not answer for the which one, the iodoform. So see the next one here. So this is the word the secondary alcohol. So this is the word the secondary alcohol. So secondary alcohol, again the same condition, which whenever it undergoes the oxidations here, it gives you what the secondary alcohol on oxidation always gives you what the ketone. Just go this one. Here we got the what the CO group, and what does it contain? The what the CH3. Hence it will be answers for the which one? The iodoform. Okay, hence the option will be the which one? The B. But see the tertiary alcohol. The tertiary alcohol do not undergo oxidation. In order to oxidation, you require with strong oxidizing agents like nitric acid. Okay. Hence in this case, the option is a which one? That is what the B. But why can't it be the last one? Because if we're talking about the which one, the N-propyl alcohol. Okay. So this means in the last one, if we take the what the N-propyl alcohol is a primary alcohol. The primary alcohol on oxidations, what we are going to get? Here we are going to get the aldehydes. Okay. See the what the aldehydes. Here we got the what the aldehyde, but see this one here, the keto group, it does not contain the CH3, hence it does not answer for the which one, the iodoform. Hence in this case the option is B. Okay, next one. Order of the order of esterifications of alcohols is, okay. So first you have to identify what exactly the esterification reactions here. So when the carboxylic acid, okay, let me take the carboxylic acid here. Whenever the carboxylic acid reacts with alcohol, I am going to take the alcohol in this form here. Okay, in the presence of the concentrated sulfuric acid. So that means it undergoes the dehydration. See this one. In this case, the cleavage will be in the alcohol. That is the which one? OH. So now it forms the respective, that is the esters. Okay, this reaction is called as a which one? That is the esterification. Now you just identify the cleavage taking place at the OH. That means you have to identify the which alcohols will be the more reactive. Okay, so now if you identify the this one here, so generally we know that the methyl alcohol, which is more acidic one, next comes the primary, next comes the secondary, next comes the tertiary. That means you just identify, that means the cleavage of the OH becomes very fast in the methyl alcohol. Next is the which is the primary. That means if the cleavage of OH becomes fast, the reactivity is also the increases. Okay, hence in this case the option is which one? That is the C. The option is C.